What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Moon and Dust Trending. I'm DeFi Sean. That is Mr. Pixel. We have some new blood in the top 5, so we're going to be examining some new projects. Also, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, share button, repost button. Like I always say, whatever button you have to hit to share it, hit that button. Whether you're watching on Twitch, X, YouTube, just had a really good game of Moon or Dust Fire Chicken. Crushed it. So, Mr. Pixel, how's it going?
Going good, brother. Going good. I'm excited for another trending show as we're rolling this out in our first kind of week. Good to see some new blood on the charts up there. And yeah, delighted with the game we just had too. Chuck was in there. He played well. And he's got a really busy schedule, obviously. He works in the medical industry. And so he has a certain amount of time. We did show Fire Chicken on the show yesterday, but he wasn't available. He has blocked out some time for us today. So maybe we can kind of just bring him up, run through it, Sean, real quick while he's got some time for everybody to get a little deep dive. He's got some nice surprises too for everybody. So let's bring the man himself up.
Bring him up. And,
is he up here? Let's go. Okay, there he is.
What's up?
Chuck, welcome back. Chuck, long time no see.
Yeah, this is way more relaxed. Yes. Way better. Yeah.
Congrats, though. You walked away with some nice money from Magnus, of all people. So, hey, Magnus made you a deal.
Besides, my goof up went really well. So.
No, it was awesome, dude. It was awesome. It was a good game. You did really well, too. So, congrats. Congrats to the Fire Chicken community. So, but yeah, so, Chuck, we're going to, this is your account. Is that right?
That's my personal one.
Yes. Yes. So I was just going to ask you because, we're assuming you're the developer, obviously, like you're going to be interacting with it a lot too. So, as far as the project goes, just anybody that's watching right now, the project is Fire Chicken and it's been around for about a year and we're going to dive in. Chuck is the dev, Dr. Fire Chicken himself. So I guess a little bit about yourself, really, Chuck, who you are, how long you've been in crypto, how have you been involved in any other projects? How did kind of Fire Chicken come about? Give us a little insight.
So me, most people know I'm a family practice doctor in Northwest Oklahoma. So I'm probably the most doxed person in crypto. I've had people in Telegram send me pictures of our website. And if you search the name, for sure you could come visit me at my door. Probably should do something about getting some of that stuff taken off online.
Don't do that, anybody.
I got into crypto right about the beginning of Safe Moon. I had started practice. I was making really good money. I was investing in risky things. I had gotten into stock market stuff when we had some of those crazy wild swings, COVID during that time. And then I was like, man, what else is this volatile where you can make or lose a lot of money to fill that ADHD dopamine. And then I started watching some YouTubers. And, back then we didn't have great people like Sean and some of them right at the beginning that were actually honest. We had a lot of people scamming us out of money. And one specific YouTuber we watched, and he'd be pretty sure he would turn around and sell on us. And then we got in a Discord and a bunch of guys ended up starting a project, and that was the original DYOR, which oddly enough ended up being ran by a scammer too.
Really?
But that's where I learned about liquidity, because at one point I had a wallet that said that I was worth about $3 million, but I could get about 150,000 out, and that was the whole LP pool.
Wow.
So that's when I first stepped back and went, okay, there's something wrong here, and how does this work? When you screw up, when you have mistakes, that's where you learn. And so I learned about the liquidity thing then, and that's where my passion for liquidity investing comes from.
And then how did Fire Chicken come from all of that? Yeah.
I got involved with another project, and like I said, we did like a 1,300 BNB raise, which at the time was like $500 a BNB. And that project didn't work out because of relationships with other people. I was able to make my pre-sale holders whole in BNB, but obviously by the time we closed down, BNB was 300 and something instead of 5. And so I actually stepped away for a while. I'd actually quit my practice. We ended up moving across the state. I was working urgent care and, stayed away from crypto for quite a while. And then it was right about the time that Codename Moon and Operation Phoenix came along that I was like, man, if I'm going to do something again, what would I do? And so it was, I'm going to start something from nothing and turn it into something. It's going to be on me. I'm going to be the only team member. I'm not going to ask for money from anybody. I'm not going to be able to hose any pre-sale investors. And if it doesn't make it, it doesn't make it. So we started on, Pump Fun, the butthole of the universe. And I think it'll be a cool story that we're still here a year later. We're still growing. And we started as a meme, but now we're really trying to focus on the education stuff and liquidity investing and finding a sustainable way to support ourselves even without new buyers.
Yes. And I think that's an interesting point that you make too, Chuck, is that, in this space, at the end of the day, it being so decentralized and all that, you are going to end up meeting just like end of the day, meeting random people off the internet that you've known nothing about, you've never really met before, and you're trying to build up these relationships because trust is so important, right? And usually, as any developer is, even when you're trying to do things as honest as possible, there's always going to be some failed projects in your wake. Because if there's not, you haven't been trying, or else you're just a straight rugger. And if that's the case, you wouldn't be doxxed at all. So, like, the reality is, the innovators in the space do that, and I agree. That's why I kind of liked Phoenix as well, because that's exactly what this meme space is like. It's just it's like the Phoenix constantly rising from the ashes and then dying and then rising again, and you know what I mean. It's like that never-ending cycle. So I think a lot of people can absolutely like relate with that. And as far as then, let's say the actual Fire Chicken itself, the narrative, and you were just talking about the education utility side of it. So what's give us a little bit of insight about that. And if anybody wants to fire at Deep Fried Doctor on X, that's the man you're looking at right now. He's the dev behind this one, Fire Chicken, at Fire Chicken 007. But yeah, what give us a little idea about the narrative, the utility and stuff, Chuck?
So the Fire Chicken is me and my dad always talked cars, and he liked the old Trans Ams, and they had we jokingly called, my dad would call those the Fire Chicken. And so I've always liked that, and I don't remember when it was, at what point, and I was like, man, that makes sense, because like everything burned down around me with Valor, and I keep my failures on my desk to remind me every day.
That's
where we're at.
Right.
And so the Phoenix made sense, and it was the Fire Chicken. And then one day I was sitting here trying to figure out what the ticker would be. And there's only so many ways in 4 letters to abbreviate Fire Chicken. And so we come up with an interesting ticker.
I like it.
Which made good for the beginning of the project and the meme energy. But as we've tried to be a little bit more legitimate, we've stepped back from that a little bit and focused on the Fire Chicken. But for me, it embodies the rising from the ashes, learning from the mistakes of previous projects and just doing something different
and growing and like constantly trying to develop and grow in the space. And that's the thing I always say is that space is so volatile, dude. Like people, just regular everyday traders, until you get in there and you try to actually do something like this, man, you have no idea. And we're the same. We're kind of, you've got to fail forward, I guess, But yeah, that's awesome. And that's a great story too, dude. I love that it's rooted and it's got like your dad. That's what your dad used to call it, the Fire Chicken. I'm waiting to see. Hey, I think we got to call out SFC. SFC, we need a Fire Chicken and a Trans Am stat.
We have a bunch. So
you got a bunch. Okay.
So we have a whole meme room in Telegram, and there's thousands and thousands of them.
I love it.
I mean, a year's worth. So anytime anybody's made anything awesome, we forwarded it to this room. And we just pick through them.
So if somebody wants to join it's in Telegram?
Yeah, you can always hit me up.
What's the Telegram handle, Chuck?
Our main Telegram is...
So we can get everybody dialed in that's watching right now if you want to get involved.
Yeah, it's there. Fire Chicken 007 in Telegram.
Fire Chicken 007 is the handle.
And that Fire Chicken 007 is basically, I think it's our X. It should be our Twitter or X and TikTok and something else. So our TikTok's been neglected. I did a really good job with that at the beginning, and then it didn't provide anything for us. So
yeah, it's hard, dude. It's so hard, especially when you're trying to monetize as many channels, and then you're trying to, if you want to make content for these things too, is difficult because you got the different ratios and stuff that do better and certain kinds of content. So there's a lot of work in that, and I guess that could move us on to the next thing before we go on to the tokenomics and stuff. And we're kind of talking about it right now: the community, the socials, the engagement, the actual content. Do you create all the content yourself, Chuck? Is it a community thing? And how do you decide the posts that get made and all that kind of thing? How does that work?
So interestingly, and a lot of people know this, I had a chat GPT thread about what I envisioned for Fire Chicken for 6 months before we launched.
Right.
And so a lot of the narrative and the funny stories and even some of the first pictures were created way before launch. And then a lot of people got excited and they made a lot of cool stuff. And so we just fed off of that. But,
Awesome.
you can literally use that as an agent. You can say, hey, we want to make a daily learning lesson. I want it to be about layer 1 versus layer 2, 3 blockchains.
Mm-hmm.
And it knows our whole narrative. It'll make this, it adds our socials. You can make a post.
I like it. Fire Chicken, bringing the heat, bringing the knowledge, dropping the knowledge.
So I still create all the posts, and that's why it's kind of hit or miss. Life gets busy.
Oh, I hear you.
But that's how we run the project. There's no overhead. I don't, I've paid for everything. I've sold no tokens to pay for anything. I've paid for Dex Screener, Dex Tools.
You really are just like
so
going this. Yeah. I like
so
it.
And so I joke that this is my brand, but it's my brand. And so I have long-term things for it, and the education and the liquidity investing is the beginning of that. We almost had an educational web-based app, and then the person that was helping me with that kind of flaked out. So I've been trying to learn that myself, and I actually have been in touch with somebody else recently that's already been working on something like that. So we're kind of hoping to merge those things together.
Awesome. I love it when the community kind of chip in and start really getting behind making graphics. We have the same Moon or Dust. I got to see Sean breakdancing here lately.
Yeah, it's like literally just over the weekend, I said, hey guys, we need, specifically, Jason and Jane, Plain Jane, they always come up with cool stuff for me. I said, I need some stuff for Moon or Dust. I need a 67K giveaway. And man, it was like 800 pictures. It was crazy.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, on Tokenomics, we're a pump fund contract. So there's no tax. The only tax is the 0.25% that Radium's going to take out every time you go across.
Let's pop up that chart there, Sean, for a quick.
LP.
We're going to have a quick chat about the tokenomics here. Yeah, there we go. There's the chart right now. But give us a breakdown tokenomics and the launch, when you launched it, how the process was for you and all that.
A pump fund launch is brutal. You either bond in minutes, or it can take months, or it's never. We brewed on there the first night. I mean, we got 80-something% of the way the first night, and then it went way down. And so we did not bond, and I think it was at least a month, and it might have been a month and a couple of weeks. I'd have to go look at the Radium pool when it started. But we had just been sitting there at like 66%, 67%. And then one Sunday night, it went nuts, and the alerts were going off. And next thing you know, it's bonded. The next thing you know, it's 220K market cap.
Wow!
And
I love it.
12 hours later, it's 90. And then 4.5 months later, it's 18. So in April, when Solana was $98 for a couple hours, that was our low spot. And I reinvested in ourselves. And so that was the best thing that happened. So, and then, we just kind of brewed. It was 19, then it was 20, then it's 25, and then it's 30. And, I'm putting stuff in, and we were doing some of these little LP pools and basically using arbitrage between our pool and our USDC pool that makes fees as the price of Solana moves. And so that's money we can put back into ourselves that doesn't come from anywhere, but just volatility. So that's where, if you see any of our funny memes where we say volatility is our utility, it's because that's where we make money.
That's how you're doing it. I like it.
And then, we, Crypto Bastard, who actually got kicked off at TikTok, or I think he's back. He posted about us when we were about 80K. And, in 3 days we were at 280.
Nice.
And then we made that big pullback to, I think it was because we started that big run at about 100 and we held it about 140 because I had some big USDC pools set up. So we had pulled some USDC out on the run up to put back in when they were done dumping on us.
Gotcha.
So if
Well,
you can,
it's sitting at like 156. Sorry,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So this is what I want a lot of people to see. If you want to see the strength of a real small project, if you can sort that chart by
Sean, can you adjust
Solana, and instead of USD.
Wait, do I have the?
We're on
do I have the
Solana
wrong
right
chart
now, I
pulled
believe.
up?
It's on that's Solana right now, but maybe we're on the day chart.
Yeah.
Can I? Yeah. So what do I need to do?
So what you're on Dex tool? Never mind. It didn't
I'm on
see
Dex Tool.
there. Yeah, I'll put a screenshot up at some point, like in our room. So when you look at that one, because it's the right chart, but it's still showing you a price in USD, so 0.0000. You can filter a lot of these charts by Solana instead of USD, and it'll actually show you how.
I didn't even know that.
So it'll actually show you how much Solana is in your pool.
Oh, look, here you go, right here. It's right here.
Yeah. So it'll take out the movement of Solana. And so right now we are almost at our daily high of the biggest amount of Solana in our main LP since we started. So that's actually
a good metric to
look at. That's the goal for today is I have been holding some stuff back, hoping to put us to the top of where we've been on that. Because to me, that's the strength, because I built this to be not truly a Solana ETF, but I'm pumping Solana into this to make money off of the volatility and the movement and to slowly exponentially grow that. So
no, smart. I like it. You definitely seem to have a plan, a strategy here, and like you've been going for a year now, ups and downs, taking them all on the chin and rolling with it. Strong community, obviously. They're sitting pretty at 156 right now. So I mean, it's looking really good. Do you want to let people know about the current giveaway? And I know we have some stuff to give away here today because
So let's see, it's almost 4 here. So there's 8 more hours on X. We're having our 67K Fire Chicken giveaway. All you got to do is like the post, retweet the post, put your Solana address. That gets you entered. 20% of total entrants are gonna win.
You bring up that tweet there, Sean. I think it should be on the Fire Chicken account.
There's actually been such low input of people interacting with that I may actually give away more than 20%. We'll see how I feel.
I got to do
tomorrow.
it. I got 8 hours. I got to do it myself.
But we're actually going to give away 5 of those winners on this live. So,
all right, that is awesome. Hey, anybody that is watching, whether you're watching on X, YouTube, wherever, Lunar Pump, go on over to the main YouTube account. Can you just show us the name of the YouTube account there, people? Again, Sean, just so we can see exactly. There it is. So yeah, it's at Fire Chicken 007. Go over there. There's a giveaway going on right now. Doesn't cost you anything to enter, just some social media interaction, and you could be walking away with some Fire Chicken. Sitting pretty right now. It's looking good. All the details are there in that tweet. Maybe if you want, feel free to drop that tweet into the Moon or Dust Telegram too, for anybody that's watching in there. And so we're going to give it away. How are we giving this away, guys? Did we make a decision how we're going to give away this these giveaways?
No, Chuck, is there a certain way? I don't think we really talked about how we're giving them away.
No, I don't. If people could drop their Solana addresses in Lunar Pump, I guess, and we reward the people there. I don't know how you want to do it.
I know our chat is having a little issue right now, so that might be a little bit messy, but maybe we can do it in.
Do we want to do it?
Dust? We can do it in Moon or Dust.
Hey, yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do that from now to the end of the night in the Moon or Dust Telegram, and come up with a way for people to enter, and then we'll pick 5 out of that. So I'll pick 5 out of that, and then they can double apply on the X. So
yes, okay, perfect. Yeah, so drop the link to that tweet where they can apply with all the directions, Chuck, and anybody that is watching as well. If you're in the Moon or Dust Telegram, do we want them to drop their wallet addresses now, or we'll release exactly how people are going to be able to win this in the Telegram itself? Is that the way you want to do it, Chuck?
Actually, maybe we put a post up in the Moon or Dust Telegram where they just message me
Okay.
and give me that way.
Yeah. Adam, if you're in
Yeah.
the background there, let's get a post together that we can put up and pin about the competition with a link to Chuck. Okay, that's awesome. Hey, thank you so much for that, Chuck, as well. Appreciate it. Anybody that's viewing, hey, it's free cash. All you got to do is a couple of likes, couple of retweets, comment, whatever it is. And, even just get in the Moon or Dust Telegram right now and, stand by for the announcement of how you can get that. It's going to be wrapped up by this evening. One way or another, and you could be walking away with, what is it, 67? 67K in Fire Chicken. It's currently sitting at a 156K market cap.
Yeah.
So Chuck, appreciate that, of course, as always. As far as Fire Chicken is going right now, what are the future plans, marketing, development, and stuff? I know you got your hands full with real life, so you're not like putting massive pressure on yourself. It's going to be like just rolling it out, slowly growing. We all know what that's like, but what's the plan moving forward? Immediate future, long term?
Yeah. So immediate future is we got to get our website redone, and I didn't really realize how bad and old it was till you guys pulled it up.
It wasn't that bad, dude.
No, it's bad.
Chuck was telling me. Chuck
that's like first month, man. That was meme energy day,
Dude, trust me, dude. I've seen some bad websites, and that's certainly not the worst I've seen. But
I'm going to be reaching out to who made that one and see if they want to do the updates. I've reconnected with an old friend from some previous stuff that he does some of that too. So we're going to get that redone. I have a hard time pushing hard and putting a bunch of money into something when the market's like this because your return is very small.
Yep.
So now's the time for me to be building things in the background and working on things. So as people get excited again and things move up, then we have those things to introduce. So
yeah, you're in a strong position.
Obviously, if you go through our X, there's tons of those learning lessons. We joke the ticker's FCKN, but we have free crypto knowledge now lessons, which just happens to work out. But we're gonna find a place to put those, and whether that's a individual Telegram room or website that you can search through. I was even building like a liquidity investing academy, and then the product that Meteora put out, their boot camp, you can't beat that. So there's no sense in me redoing any of that.
Yeah.
Now I can be somebody to answer questions when you go through that and tell me, hey, day 2, this, I don't get that. And let's talk about that. All of our time would be better spent with that and not wasting time and money.
Yeah.
Long term, it's just this builds slowly. The arbitrage between the pools that I do, and those get stronger over time. And then as we add other things, it will make sense. There's other projects out there that do what I'm looking to do. And actually, when I came across them, I was like, man, that sucks. They already do this. And then, but we can be unique, and there's room for everybody in the space. So
totally, competition is good.
Part of it's going to look like what they do because there's only so many ways to do liquidity investing. You have two paired assets, and now there's 1,000 different ways to set that up.
Mm-hmm.
But in the grand scheme of things, everything comes back into the project. So now
competition is healthy. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's talk about wallets. So if you go and look at our holders list, it is scary. Okay. We've had a 10% holder since way before we even bonded. And he's actually locked his tokens up on Jupiter, locked those up like I've locked up a bunch of ours. He is very long-term. We are in negotiations to get him to split up that 10.9% wallet into smaller wallets or let me buy it out over time. The next 10% wallet is a project wallet, and all of that is locked for almost 2 years. I think some of it starts to be vested at a year. You can't see the locks on these wallets unless you go to Jupiter site. And I did that because I was trying to get Jupiter verified. And so I figure if I did all my locks there, I'd have a better chance. And it still hadn't happened because we don't have enough organic volume because all of our volume is bot driven with the arbitrage. So, but 40% of our tokens locked up. So,
wow. That's awesome. And what about as far as listings and things like that? I know people always ask about that. Where are you guys at with that?
I mean, we're on Dex Tools, we're on Dex Screener. The next thing, the only thing that makes sense is continuing to push for the Jupyter verification, because that in the Solana world, that opens up a lot of things.
Right.
And so there's no sense to pay for any kind of centralized exchange or big thing in the Solana world at the market cap we're at without having that.
Yeah.
And so if we do the right things and we get that done, I need 500 holders. I got 312. And so part of the giveaway is hoping to build some wallets. I can make organic volume happen when we have the holders. And so when we have the holders and we have the volume, I'll pay for the premium push, and everything actually gets started after Jupyter verification, because it puts you on a short list. Nobody else can use that ticker on their platform forever. It goes a long way for people that invest in things long term, because there's enough people spooked about Solana, and I get it. But the people that do long term investing, a lot of them want to see that, unless they're playing, they're just playing to swing money. They want to see that because it's hard to get. So
well, I think what people should take away here is, like, you're obviously very serious about this. This is like a passion of yours anyway. It's rooted in, some solid lore that is nostalgic for you, obviously, with Fire Chicken and the Trans Am and what your dad used to call them. So, it's obviously something that is near and dear to your heart. You've been working on it for a long time. And you have a plan here moving forward, clearly, and you're not worried about, you're willing to put in the time and the effort to grow this thing. Clearly, you've been doing it for a year. So to me, this is very bullish to get involved in this. Help the man get to 500 holders, everybody. If you're watching, and you like this, of course, obviously go and look into all the things we showed you here today as well. But if you like what you've heard, you like the man behind it,
and part of what the whole goal for this is I want people to be able to take their money out when they need it. If you have strong liquidity and you like volatility and movement, you're okay with people getting in and getting out. And
of course. That's okay. The game, right? That's the game.
I have people message me and they're like, "Sorry, I had to take $20 out." I'm like, "Good, take it out." You've been holding since we were, 16K. Come on.
You know what I love about that, Chuck, is you always hear the bad stories, but people like that exist too, in this space. I don't want to take $20 out, dude. I don't want to hurt this chart. There's a lot of good people here too, and that's why it sucks so bad when people get ripped off and scammed and this. It's usually the good people that get screwed for the most part. So. But it's looking great, Chuck. Any final words? I know you got to get back to business there where you're at. It's pretty hectic, but congratulations again on the game today. Coffee Kind was on too, their Space Cat. You did great today, Chuck. Made the right decisions. You followed your intuitions and didn't double guess them like I did at the very end. But shout out Space Cat. He was on, but you're getting a lot of support anyway, and I hope that it continues, and you get a lot of support from our mod community. I know they will be pushing it as well in there too. So I appreciate you coming out. Any final words for everybody, where they can find you, what they can do to get involved? Obviously the tweet, but competition.
So the tweet's up for our main competition in the mod room, and most people can find me. I see a couple of people saying they can't message me. I'll figure out if I got a setting turned on or something, and we'll get that fixed.
Yeah, might be a premium thing.
But I'm actually excited for mod that we got kicked off the board for the top 5, because that means there's some other bigger groups coming that are active, and that's what we need. So
yes, absolutely, and we appreciate you again coming on today, Chuck. Sean, any last words? I know Sean asked me to lead here today because obviously he's really sick at the moment.
Still under the weather. Yeah, I struggled to get through Moon or Dust, but Mr. Pixel's taking a lead today. But of course, been following you guys for forever now. Love what you're doing. You help us, we're always here to help you. So love it.
Yeah, you're getting some good feedback too. Nice to see your level of transparency. Yeah, that's a rare thing these days. A person on camera talking about crypto, totally transparent about what they're doing. This is what mass adoption is ultimately going to look like, guys. People that aren't afraid to say, yes, I work in crypto. Yeah, it ain't easy, but when regulation comes, we don't want people when we want to get to a point where people, don't want to hide behind PFPs, because this is getting more and more adoption. This is what it's ultimately going to look like. It's eventually going to get to where if you see someone behind the PFP, it's automatically going to be, that's kind of shady. I'm not, and that's where we want it to be. That's what mass adoption looks like. So shout out to you, Chuck. You're crushing it out there, brother, and well done with Fire Chicken. I wish you the best
Thanks,
with it all.
guys.
Congrats on the game today, man. Well done.
Perfect.
All right, Chuck.
All right.
Talk soon.
All right,
See
Chuck.
y'all later.
Take care, brother. Okay, bye-bye. All right. Well, that was pretty sweet, Sean. I like this one here to the stage. This is our other ones here. That was great. It was nice to give Chuck a little bit of airtime there because, like you said, he's been such a great supporter of us all this time and all the projects. And like I said, there's always going to be some projects behind any dev that wants to try and make it. Sometimes it gets the better. Even Chuck, he said, man, I had to take a break from it for a while. It does, man. It weighs you down. It's volatile. It's stressful if you're trying to do it in this space. Something doesn't work and you're constantly like taking flack. You got a Telegram channel. If you're not up to par, if doing what people want, like you're getting bombarded all the time. It's a big sacrifice. And if you're not making money on top of it, or you're only, or you're losing money, worse again, which happens a lot in crypto, it gets even tougher, and knowing when to like take time, knowing when to, to push, it's important, and it's not easy. So it's good to see that. When I see someone like Chuck in the space like that, it gives me a lot of hope because he's been doing it for a year in this particular project, but he's been doing it before and he didn't want to give up. He needed a break, but dude, he was right back in it. He's waiting for his moment to strike. And Sean was the guys that inspired him to get back through Operation Phoenix and Operation
very cool. I didn't know
good,
that's what kind of. I didn't know that's what kind of got him back into it, but yeah.
Thank you, Ed. Yeah. Thanks, Ed. Great time today and airtime with Chuck. Absolutely, Chuck's a beast. So I wish you guys the best, and we're always collaborating there. So it's not like it's the end or anything. All right, let's have a look. We got some new peeps on the board today, Sean. Next up, we were going to talk about. We always talk about Moon or Dust, but we do have Biocrypt. So maybe let's jump on to Biocrypt. They're in there with like 37 votes right now. Let's have a quick look. Now, obviously, we've talked about them already a few times. I know you did have a recent update, Sean, because we were talking about the... let me add this to the stage here. We were talking about... They just did a pink sale not so long ago, and then their token launch was supposed to happen pretty close after. Now, they did play in this week's prime time, if you want to go back and check out on the website or on YouTube here. They walked away with a doozy. We won't spoil it if you're just watching, but man, it was a great game. He played it really well. Hamdan came on. He was going up against Magnus. And like we said yesterday, you can go and find out, but I'll leave you with this. Magnus turns numbers guys and strategic guys into degens. Let's put it that way. So go and check that out for yourselves. A great show. But yeah, Biocrypt are serious, dude. They're backed by Microsoft. It looks like they had gotten like basically it is, as he said, he gave a quick overview. It'd be nice to have him on again maybe for one of these shows, maybe next week or something. We can get them to come on and talk about a little more in depth, because obviously in the main primetime show, it's kind of all timed and stuff, so you just get a certain amount of time to talk. But it is a hybrid trading platform, as we said. Microsoft really liked what they were doing. It looks like they got granted and backed by them for this, and it seems like they're partnering up with a lot of big companies in order to like have this trading platform that is really cheap fees, AI integration. Obviously the technicalities I can't dive into too much because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about for the most part, but I do understand on a surface level, basically, good fees, quick transactions, competitive with everything. If Microsoft like it, it's a good bet to have a look at it. So what was the story with the pink sale and the token itself, Sean? I know there was some news on that.
Yeah, the pink sale went great. I think they raised 276 SOL, and I believe they did a raise on top of that as well. It's an Axiom style trading platform, cheaper fees, works great. If you come down right here, this is my YouTube video right here that I did on it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, of course. And we actually did some buys, some sells. Watched how fast it was, and yeah, and I believe they were gonna have launched already, but I think they did a vote. They decided to wait a couple weeks, kind of see what the market looks like. Obviously, there's tons of fear in the market. Fear and greed index is what, at like 16 right now, so not the worst idea ever for them to hold off a little bit. I know they're gonna be doing centralized exchange listings, all kinds of different stuff like that. It'll be good to kind of get them on here. I know. If you go back and watch yesterday and the days before's episode, I covered them pretty good on Moon or Dust Trading, so you can kind of get some more info on them. But yeah, they're looking good. They're just kind of waiting for that market, like a lot of people are. And yeah,
You
they're
know,
going to get
Sean,
going live.
you know, they got to hold off in this market. Not everybody can 10x in a bear market with like Operation Phoenix did, like Sean did.
Yeah, 110x with Operation Phoenix. Yeah,
Hey,
Operation Phoenix was
you better not have fucking peaked at Operation Phoenix, bro. We got to blow mod up to like.
yeah, mod I think is going to blow Operation Phoenix is 110x out of the water. It's only a matter of time. Operation Phoenix is our Moon of Dust is unlike anything anyone's ever done in the space, and we're going to be crushing it. I'll be 100% by the next episode. Hopefully, I had my energy levels high. I was trying my best to make sure I kept up those energy levels.
Bro, you did great. You did great. It's been a tough week for you. I know. I feel it. You've been sick pretty much for the most of the week, and dealing with kids too. So like, yeah,
sick kids. They got
in easy.
Usually it's my wife that usually gets like really sick, but like it started off as a cold, then turned into an ear infection. So usually it's my wife that like progressively gets worse, and I'm fine. But yeah, it happened a little bit reverse this time. We'll get through it.
Yeah. So look, and as you can see, guys, with Biocrypt, like Sean said, I know we've already kind of went over it, but look, they just did the pink sale. Obviously, they're backed by Microsoft. It's an awesome. It looks like a kind of a trading. It is a hybrid trading platform with AI integration, backed by Microsoft, granted by them. The token has not launched yet. They just did a pink sale. They're smart to hold off and wait and see what the market is like yet. Adam was just asking, did we talk about Boost yet? No, we did not. We are on number 3, and we'll be moving our way down the line as soon as we kind of keep rolling here. I'm going to add this. So that's Biocrypt, guys. So go and check it out. I'm sure we'll be talking about them again. They're up at 37 votes right now. We're going to be talking about TassHub here in a minute. Adam, if you're listening, anybody from TassHub that is able to come on and talk about it, they just jumped into the Moon or Dust Telegram a little earlier. And we like talking about all projects. Anybody that is on this board, get in there. Talk about your project. That's what the whole point of this is. Like we're for bringing communities together at zero expense to anybody right now. This is all about bringing entertainment and creating the platform to kind of elevate projects in the space that need it. Dude, like we're in a horrible market right now. People don't have a fortune to pay for marketing or advertising. This is something that we can offer. We already have it. We're utilizing the Moon or Dust game show to bring people and create the numbers around this show itself. And then we're going to utilize that to elevate this trending show, which in turn elevates a lot of projects that need that platform to do it, right? That don't have a fortune to spend on marketing, that maybe they went through a rough patch when they were launching, who knows, but they're legit people. It's a good community. They just didn't go your way. That happens so often. So installing this bot doesn't cost anybody anything. Jump on, vote, and we'll bring you up here to talk about your project. We'll talk about it anyway. If you're in the top 5, you can download it from the website. No problem. Just go there, moon-or-dust.fun. And just click right up at the very top of the screen. Just click add the Telegram bot, give it admin permissions, and give it the necessary stuff, and just start voting in the chat and hit your way into the top 5. You can also boost as well. There's the opportunity to boost in there. You can make your votes be 1.5x. They can be 2x, and you can also just buy a tier as well. And there's the opportunity to just buy your way onto the number 1 spot, into the top 3 and the top 5. So there's options, right? And it's not crazy expensive to do that, or else just have your community push it hard. And again, we're going live across multiple platforms. So we're on Twitch, we're on X, we're on YouTube, across multiple accounts on those platforms. So that's what we're trying to do, is like get these numbers up, and they have been massively substantial week on week. Great growth. We're expecting a little pullback this week because the market's so bad, but whatever, we're gonna keep trucking anyway here and doing it and bringing eyes to this. But next up, we got TassHub. What have we got there, Sean? Let me bring this up right now for us to have a look.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't been in my normal schedule this week, so honestly haven't even got a chance to look at it. Yesterday they just came in and just basically took over. So yeah, we can pop it up for you. We can go ahead and check it out. And I honestly don't know much about it, so I'm kind of experiencing it for the first time as you guys.
Yeah, let's have a look. It seems to be, anyway, from what they said in the chat, one of the representatives came in there. And I know this is what Major Trending was talking about, was if we got to the 140K market cap, held it for 24 hours, that they'd put us in connection with these guys. But hey, I guess they just loved.
They discovered us beforehand. So hey. It's the beauty of Moon or Dust. Again, it's only a matter of time. It's already to the point where it's. I know people are starting to see it, and you see it so many times. You have to come look and see what it's about.
Yeah, absolutely. So from what I could see, this was like some way of bringing basically a lot of projects together, some kind of a platform here that integrates socials, tokens involved in it. Well, let's hope we can get somebody on. If anybody's watching, Titan, I know you're hot and heavy there. Adam, I know you're there in the green, in the backstage in the green room at the moment. Can you see if anybody from TassHub wants to come on? We'll have a quick look at the website, but if they do, I mean, awesome. Great. If not, we'll just have a quick scan over it. I'm sure there'll be someday next week or maybe even tomorrow. Who knows? They'll still be sitting up the top there. So, but right now we can have a quick look. Anyway, decentralized, secure, anonymous TassHub is the home of prominent creators. All right. So, okay, it's looking like, okay, it seems to be focused on creators / influencers, I guess, to some degree here. I think this whole social aspect of it is definitely top priority from what I can see. Keep scrolling down. How can you earn with TassHub? The possibilities are endless. Okay, courses, creators tokenize educational content with automatic NFT certificates and transparent revenue through smart contracts. So I guess, yeah, some course for how to do the adult content, enable censorship, restrained monetization through crypto payments and decentralized storage while ensuring creator ownership and subscriber privacy. Subscriptions and DMs. Token gated access creates tiered subscription models with micro payment messaging and governance rewards for loyal subscribers. NFTs, utility driven NFTs grant exclusive access to content and services while programming automatic royalty distributions to creators. Live streams and podcasts, real-time token tipping and executive access passes monetize live content through tokenized community engagement. Decentralized marketplace for all digital services, including crypto project development, freelancing, consulting, and technical services. All right, so it's kind of looks like an NFT token launching platform where it looks like they're sitting behind some kind of a paywall where people have the opportunity, kind of like I guess an OnlyFans style thing or a parlor or not parlor, but is it? No, it's not. It's basically one of those paywalls where you can get like the exclusive content, right? It allows you to pay with this specific kind of subscription model on this platform, and you can put your exclusive content behind the paywall. That's what it seems to be here from what I can see, and you can also launch tokens and stuff on it. But if I'm getting that wrong, please, anybody from TassHub, correct me in the chat or come on up here if you want to do that. If you're willing to come up and tell us a little more about it, then that'd be great too. But I'm sure there'll be more opportunities. You guys keep voting, and there will. Is there a token behind this at the moment, Sean, or is it just basically the platform now?
That I don't think there is. Like I said, I haven't had time to actually look into it yet, but I don't think there's a token, but I can be completely wrong. Let's see.
Yeah, maybe there is tokenomics up there.
No, this is it right here.
Yeah, all right, okay.
Yep.
All right, well, let's have a look.
So stand corrected.
Let's see when they launch. Crypto Night, you reposted the stream. What a guy. Yes, sir. Everybody out there, if you're watching on X, please give us a repost. Drop a comment in there too. Say what's up. The more engagement we get, the more eyes we're going to get on this, the more we share it. So please, yeah, do that. Thank you, Crypto Night. Okay, we're looking at chat. When did it launch, Sean? Can we see?
Let's actually get over to a
bring it up in Dex tools. Okay, so I mean, it seems to me from what I could see by the website, they're looking like it's like a Web3 version of OnlyFans, from what I can kind of gather. Plus, I mean, it looks like the logo is a pair of panties.
But it's
I mean that that's the market that they're pushing for here. So, okay, I get it. Chart looked like a good launch. What did they hit there at the top?
Looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like they launched in April.
Yeah, and the guys on Major were saying that this is, I think, probably the most successful project that they've had this year, that like really pumped heavy once they had him on the show. So that was awesome. What's their all-time high there, Sean? What did they hit at that peak? All right, they came close to the milli. They're at like, is that right?
Let's do it.
Yeah, very nice. Okay, well, it looks like they had a good launch. Did they launch on Pump Fun, I assume?
Let me see. Pump. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, I mean, that looks like a pretty promising chart. Obviously, it's come down a bit, but, the market is what it is right now. And it looks like they're building something pretty cool over there. It's similar to And that was the thing, as far as I was aware, when OnlyFans started off, it was not supposed to be like what it became. The idea was that anybody could just set up a paywall and give exclusive content through it. But I guess that was what happened. It just adapted to that, and then that's the way it went. So
yeah, we have that's right here
on this side. Can I post any? Yeah, TassHub supports all types of content, including education materials, art, adult content, digital products. So yeah, it's open to everybody. But I mean, I think the logo tells you exactly who they're targeting, more so than anything. But yeah, okay. I mean, I get it. I get it. It looks like it looks like
Mr. P. Give me 1 second.
Yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
Drop off stage just for 1 minute.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, it would be great if we could get somebody up here to talk a little more about it, give us some more insight into the whole project itself. And once Sean comes back, we'll have a quick look at the socials here and see where that is. Who's this? Kryptonite. Comment, sir. Comment dropped, sir. There we go. Attaboy. Good boy, Kryptonite. You're a good man. You're a good man. But shout out to you again. Anybody, please give us a retweet, give us a like. And if anybody from TassHub, Adam, are you listening to me? Did you talk to anybody in TassHub? We're going to have Boost coming up here next. I believe Adam was communicating with someone from Boost that might be able to come up and talk to. So let's hope that happens. And again, TassHub I'm sure we haven't heard the last. So we'll be diving into that as well. I'm sure throughout the next week. Again, so yeah, excited for that. We like I said, it goes on. This show goes on 5 days a week anyway. And if you do want to be part of it, let me just bring this up here real quick, show you how you can all get involved. Add to the stage. Okay, moon-or-dust.fun. Head on over there, and right up here at the very top, you see you can go to add mod trending bot. Click that. It'll prompt you to open your actual Telegram and add the bot. Then you want to add it to your group in there. I won't do it right now because you won't be able to see. But then you just add it to your group, give it the necessary permissions, and start voting. And if you keep continuously voting, and then we want you getting into the top of this leaderboard here. It doesn't cost you a dime to bring it in. Like I said, there are ways that our revenue model is designed where there's opportunities to have you an X boost for an hour. 1.5x boost, a 2x boost lasts for an hour, nothing crazy, or else you can get into the top tier as well, just through paying into the top 5, into the top 3, into the top 1, or the number 1 spot, should I say. And just go, to moon-or-dust.fun and add the bot right up there. And of course, we had the game show, which we just played with Chuck before this, and we had the prime time with Biocrypt, who were topping the board. And they've 2 great games. And again, if you do want to do that, we will be tying that into the trending bot. So if you are in there and you do have an active community, like we will approach you about coming on the show, winning $1,000 for free, like potentially winning $1,000 top wallet for free to come on the show and do that. Like winning something like that, even $500, it can go a long way for a chart. It can go a long way for anything, marketing, like whatever you want to put it towards. And it's totally free. Just get the bot installed and do it. And if you want to understand how it all works, you can just click this up here. When you go to the website, how it works, there's Sean looking super smiley, AI Sean. And this will explain everything all about the game. Like I said, how it works, the prizes, the prize pool, so people don't really understand. And of course, you can always tell them, go watch an episode, and you'll understand it pretty quick. But yeah, getting the bot installed is the start of your journey to doing this. So let me see. I think Adam might have messaged us back there. Okay, okay, the website or whatever. Be sure. Okay, all right. Okay, I don't think we're having anyone from Boost right now today, but maybe on into the future. They might come up if they keep voting on there. So who do we have next, Sean? We have Boost is the final one.
We have Boost. Someone let me know they're voting like crazy, but I'm not seeing a website for them. Okay.
Maybe someone can ask in their chat if they have a website. I mean, I would assume they have a website. I mean, some people don't get me wrong. Some projects don't. Like we had it's big on, and they didn't necessarily, they just built it all through X community. I know that happens a lot too in the space. Some people just, but I do think, you know, it's pretty important to have a website if you can, if you can.
Yeah, this is,
helps a
let's
lot.
see. So even when I clicked that, it took me to,
Okay, well, there's a Telegram. They have
but it hasn't,
266 members.
when I click the, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. When I click on their X, it takes me and says boosted Solana hasn't posted yet. So yeah, I think you guys' links might need to be corrected if you do have an X, because when you click right here, it brings you to X accounts that's never posted yet.
All right, guys, come on, get it together. No, I'm kidding. No, we appreciate you guys jumping on, but yeah, wish we had some more info to run with here, guys. So if we can maybe get that dialed in for the next one, keep voting out there, of course. But you know, we got to see, we want to see some actual meat and potatoes about the project, or else we don't have anything to show anybody. No one has anything to get invested in. So right now we don't have a whole lot to talk about regarding this project. So whenever they pick it up a little bit and they got some more stuff to talk about, Sean, I guess we'll jump in. I mean, the only thing I can see right now is the Telegram. That's just tipping along here. So until we actually have, there's the main dev right there. Could we have more projects graduating? Oh, sorry. But yeah, okay. I guess we'll once we get some more info on this, we can talk about it a little more. But again, anybody that is watching, before we wrap this up, and we'll give a quick rundown, I guess, to Sean on what people can expect this coming week and what we're planning on doing this coming week. But again, just to reiterate, anybody that is watching, that does want to be involved in either the Moon or Dust trending show, which we do 5 days a week, or potentially even getting on one of the main game shows themselves, the microcap edition, the primetime edition for $1,000 top wallet, microcap 250 top wallet, or else the audience edition, which we are revamping at the moment. And we're looking at kind of rolling that out this coming week and pushing people. It's going to be a ticket structure. And we'll sweeten the pot at the start, and then we'll get, once we hit a certain milestone of tickets sold, we're at a certain number, we're going to host a game, and whoever wins on that wheel. So every ticket you buy, and we're going to make these tickets super easy accessible to here moving forward this coming week for anybody who wants to pick them up. But basically, everybody that picks up a ticket, it's less than $5, Solana 0.044 or something like that. And then that will give you one slot on the wheel. Buy another ticket, that's 2 slots you got. So once that happens, once we hit a certain threshold, details will be coming. Then we'll spin that wheel. Whoever the person was that bought that winning ticket will play for however much the prize pool is. 80% of it will probably go to the actual prize pool, and then we'll have a certain amount percentage will roll over to the next week, and there will some come back into the project for development purposes and things like that. Keep the lights on out here. But yeah, so that's the idea with the audience edition. Again, go over there, get the bot installed, and start voting, totally free. And you could walk away with, you know, all this exposure that we do all the time. We're constantly growing the numbers, so a lot of possibilities. But Sean, you want to touch on the coming week here before we wrap it up, or how's your voice? You doing all right?
Yeah. Let's talk about what we're doing next week. So next week we are going to take a break from the Moon or Dust game show itself. Next week's a holiday, the market in extreme fear. Next week is kind of the perfect week for us to actually step back for a second, do some upgrades, and do some different things we have to do. We've been flying so high with 3 episodes per week, plus now the trending, that, you know, we haven't had time to do housekeeping for not only Moon or Dust, but for Lunar Pump as well. So next week, we're going to take a break from Moon or Dust itself, but we will still be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for Moon or Dust trending. Keep in mind, Thursday in the U.S. is Thanksgiving. I'll actually be traveling that day a couple hours to my dad's house, so I won't be around. So next week's schedule is going to be a little light as far as Moon or Dust, but Moon or Dust trending is going to be here all week, and then we'll be back the following week for, you know, our Moon or Dust prime time and microcap and all that. So yeah, next week we figured it was just a perfect week to do the housekeeping stuff that we need to do, and then just keep Moon or Dust rocking and rolling. Chart's looking good. Everything's looking good with it. So in spite of not having shows, again, we're still going to be live 4 days next week, hanging out, talking about Moon or Dust, talking about the other projects, and doing what we typically do.
Yeah, and just to touch on Moon or Dust, of course, itself, the show, everything we do, there is, of course, in crypto, what we're doing, there's going to be a token behind it. But we're looking at building out a complete enterprise here of crypto entertainment. But this is going to be the only token that's ever going to kind of, have anything to do with Moon or Dust itself, or any of that stuff. Is going. This is it. So, and it's doing awesome in this awful market. It's doing really good right now, and that's all thanks to the community and you guys. I mean, obviously, of course, we're up here, we're doing what we can, but this is super demanding. Like, we're doing 8 live shows a week, 2, which are kind of high in production value. The audience edition hasn't been, but that will be once we get this ticket scenario working again. So, that's a lot, dude. And that's a lot of time away from your family. That's a lot of prep work. That's a lot of, networking to get people on. There's a ton involved. So obviously, we're trying to generate all these revenue streams as opportunities to sponsor those shows, this and that. So we're ironing all that out. Like Sean said, getting the housekeeping down, tidying up some things this coming week, but we will be doing the Moon or Dust trending all week next week. So get on over, get the bot installed, start voting. We want to talk about your project. We want to see what you got. We want to bring you up on the show.
So just to clarify, next week, Moon or Dust show itself will be taking a break. We'll be concentrating on Moon or Dust trending. Some housekeeping will also be taking some meetings, because we are going to be concentrating too next week, while we're taking a little break, on moving forward what may become known as Moon or Dust Media. That's the early name of what we're calling it. So don't get tied to it yet. It may or may not be the name. Also depends on how some of these meetings go, which might affect the name of it. So again, we'll be back the following week with the show, but we do need a week to get housekeeping, concentrate on getting Moon or Dust trending out there, and then also again take some meetings to hopefully bring Moon or Dust to the next level. So definitely can't wait to start talking about some of that.
And look at poor Sean there, lads. He needs a break. He's been going through it this week, and I want everybody to give Sean a nice pat in the back, dude. A nice pat in the back for Sean. He braved it. He went through this whole week dying sick, taking care of sick kids too. So kudos. He didn't miss a show. So shout out to you, Sean. Congrats.
Thanks. Thanks for taking the lead today on Moon or Dust trending too, so that we can keep everything flowing.
So let's break, I guess. It's been a good day. We're going to be back tomorrow with just the final Friday episode of Moon or Dust trending. So get voting, get the bot in, everybody. moon-or-dust.fun to go and download that bot, edit your Telegram today, and you'll be highlighted tomorrow if you get enough votes. And hey, if you're just active enough and we see a bullish community, you might even get an invite to come on the live game, show yourself as your community, represent them, bag $250, potential top wallet, or $1,000 top wallet, whatever you think.
Yep. Also, viewership popping right back up. We capped about 75 viewers. Nice, good organic viewers. Kind of saying that because the very first episode, we were only at 15 viewers. People aren't used to us being live at this time. But we're going to be going live Monday through Friday every day at this time, talking about the trending project. So if you have a project and you have a Telegram, download our trending bot. All you have to do is get in the top 5, and we'll do complete reviews like we did. We'll even invite the developers on to come have a conversation with us. And again, can't really beat this form of advertisement, especially in a market like this. So everyone, hop on over, get that bot downloaded. And if there's nothing else, we're going to go ahead and out the show.
I just want to answer one quick question from the chat there. I know we'd like to get these going, but will next week's trending show be viewable on Lunar Pump Fund streaming? It will be there, but as at the moment we're doing a pile of work on that. We've had eternal issues with the chat for some reason, so we're really trying to iron that out. And we don't want to be sending people over there when we're having these kinds of issues at the moment. It doesn't really help either brand to do it. So we're trying to iron out all these stuff in this coming week, make sure that we get all these little niggly things that have been ongoing as regarding the chat and some small minor things taken care of. But we will most likely be live on Lunar Pump Fun, of course, doing the streaming in there. As to whether or not we'll be utilizing the chat as much is yet to be seen. If we can get it all dialed in, then absolutely, of course, we will be. But let's play it by ear, and we'll keep you posted on that too. We'll be talking about it again tomorrow. We might be in a totally different place tomorrow, who knows. But that's it from me, Sean. I appreciate everybody that watches, tunes in, follows us, supports us, likes what we're doing. Let's keep it going.
And tomorrow we'll probably be back at 3 p.m. Eastern, since we don't have Moon or Dust. That's typically our time to go live. But we will be again back tomorrow for Friday for some more Moon and Dust trending. So vote, get your project in the top 5, get talked about on Moon and Dust trending, and we will see you guys then. And of course, until we see you then, trade safe.
Play Moon or Dust live and win big for your community or for yourself. Just don't dust. Tuesday, audience edition. Wednesday, primetime. Thursday, microcap. Think you can take on the whales and walk away with a fat bag? Be our guest for free. Moon or Dust, the most bullish game show in crypto. Visit moon-or-dust.fun for details.